Okay, I'm just going to walk through the repo for the TripHut DAO real quick. Let's go ahead and look at the README. So this is the README. First thing we got to do is set up the environment. So right now, let's go ahead and run a test node. So we're running a local test node. We're going to create the wallets, which have already been created on my machine, but we'll go ahead and do that anyway. Just in case. And then we also have to source whatever environment variables we're using to set our Cardano node evar and some other evars that are used. Cool, so we just did that. At which point we can compile the contract, but we're going to skip down to some testing. So the way this DAO works is that it's a distributed DAO in the sense that it's meant to be used in a distributed setting, and because of that, it has to work around contention that would occur if every participant attempted to modify a DAO total count, proposal count variable that would be stored on, on a UTXO. So to get around that, the DAO voting is split into two parts. There's a voting process that has no contention and uses a minting script to validate that a datum stored on the vote is valid. And then there's a tallying process that will collect the votes and update a proposal UTXO with the total count of the votes. So that's the general way it works. And there's different types of proposals. There's a general proposal, which is just specifies the amount of funds that can be distributed, and there's a trip proposal where the funds actually go to a travel agent address, and then finally there's an upgrade proposal which requires a specific minting script to be mint a token, and that minting script is also going to validate the upgrade. Okay, and then there's this one other part, which is there is a configuration UTXO that's just used to ensure a bunch of different things, that the right smart contracts are being used in various transactions, and then also it just has some sort of max numbers, like the max amount that can be distributed for from the treasury for proposal for different types of proposals and things like that, and what the percentage is needed for a proposal to succeed, both the relative percentage and sort of the absolute percentage of votes. Okay, so the repo has a bunch of tests. The tests are integration tests, and they run real transactions. We're going to go ahead and just run kind of a straightforward one. It's going to mint the configuration tokens, and then it's going to perform, it's going to mint some votes and count them up. Okay, let's go. Mint and count trip. Oh, whoops, forgot to do one step. I got to set up some test data in the various wallets, test wallets. Okay, so I did that now. We should be good to go. All right, there it goes. So this is the one we're doing. It calls a bunch of other scripts that are transaction, and it attempts to do some sort of invalid transactions and make sure that they fail. The sort of beginning part here is it's going to be setting up the configuration NFT. It's going to be locking funds in the treasury. Then it mints 2 of the votes, and then it tallies them. And it can tally in bulk. Obviously, there's limits there. And first, to before it even does that, it actually has to mint sort of an index that it manages that's used for the proposals. But there we go. And then it attempts to perform some invalid voting, and we'll see how that works. Oh no, actually this one doesn't do invalid voting. It just does invalid disbursement. So now it's sleeping. It's sleeping so that the so that enough time passes so it can start to collect the votes, and then it's going to sleep so long that it will be the proposal will be over, and it can finish and do disbursement and stuff like that. And that's what it's doing right now. Okay, I just finished everything. So that's how we execute the tests. The other tests are sort of executed similarly. You can do, it has the other proposals as well, the general and the upgrade, and then counting when fungible tokens are used, which affect the voting based on a percentage in the configuration NFT. And then there's just some other tests in terms of making sure things fail when they should, in terms of expiration and not having enough votes and things like that. Right. Okay.